Mrena song na Mrena so a Nananom TV update bia we say the bremo bia the bebremo. And na a special voting na special voting mu na e de nsensem bebre aba. And na den dika ye to Ghana for ye kwa benya so na akoto aba. Na na ye fa ne say na ye omo amunim de e fa abato ho. Se meka so omo amunim de a ye omo amuye police, fire service, immigration service, custom service, journalist, and na just say omo akukudamfo a ye ka say abato mo enimdia omunimu na ye fa no security services here abambo bia fa abato yi hono omo na edimu akotene na ene na omo koto aba na abato yi mu na nsensem bebre esisi bi krampo koya omo hu omo din ewo abato homa ne mu ebi nso omo koto aba na omo de omo phones atwitwa ballot papers no na omo de ato omo phone so ana so ye bisa say omo mumma omo nim de efa abato yi ho omo na omo ye journalists for security services for enka po say obi ekoye bibisa ono no ebe correct no omo mum krampo na start bibisa yi odofo ye sembre no ye wo audio sine bebre ewo ha ewo si etie nti mama yenye bro na yenkotie sa audio wi na emunsam ehwam ye pa esanso eyayero a kire se omo na mba ba kire se sei na ose ye no omumum na omo yesa kame ho ne yenkotie audio wi mra na emum sra se onya subscribe ye channel ye a be subscribe to Nananom TV na wa like videos no wi a mama comment ewo videos ye ho wi enso a share na obi enso enye bi nhwe yeda wase sagutie
offenders, and also because it is not seen or perceived to be a high degree offense, and so then he is allowed to go scot-free without any arrest. But maybe if it had been in another instance, for instance, during the main election where you have all civilians on board, then that could happen. But Tony, what really raises this worry is that when you look at how things are unfolding, and even this goes beyond Ablekuma Central, we are seeing, for instance, in other areas or even on social media, you see presidential staffers, for instance, posting people, sending them shots of their cast ballots.
Right.
I mean, obviously violating the law and, raising dire consequences about the damaging effect all of this could have on the electoral process.
Now, I'm a bit confused. Maybe you can settle my confusion. Did we get the name of this said officer who voted and took a photo of his decision? Did we get the name?
No, we could not get the name. We could not get the name at all. There was no name given. All we were told was that he is a police officer for that matter, and I could also recognize that. The only thing that happened was that, in a way, if we had not been, from the media, from our perspective, if we had not watched on pretty well, we may not have even seen that occur because they were trying to handle it very peacefully so that nothing comes out. And so by the time we even got a hint of it, they had already asked him to delete the photos and he was asked to leave the premises. And so we could not get the name, but what we know is that he was confirmed to be one of the police officers who had come, though he was not in the top uniform, but the lower one was evident.
And this police officer is going to be on electoral duty?
Oh, definitely. And when you look at the detailed deployment plan that the National Election Security Task Force has put out there, it just means that there is going to be enough visibility across all polling centers across the nation. And so it is expected. Even if he is on duty or not on duty, we know that all police officers are still going to carry out their legally mandated roles of keeping watch of the society and ensuring there is peace across. And so the concern really is one, that if someone who knows the law very well is doing that, then who is a civilian? What should a civilian do? Or that the police, that same police officer have that great to punish or sanction a civilian who does that, which is a worry. And the other worry is why there is no arrest and it is just swept under the carpet as well.
Offense, and they have the right to invite the police to arrest the perpetrator. Did you get a word from the electoral
comment on it on record, but all that we got, the concern really from them, all that we got was that they just needed those photos deleted immediately. And so, you know, when it happened initially, this officer in question tried to deny it by saying that he did not take it. On the second occasion, he makes a point that, you know, it is his privacy. So he wouldn't just allow anyone view the kind of content that he has on his phone gallery. And eventually he is pushed a bit further and he opens the gallery and we see everything there. So from my understanding and from the off-record interrogation that I had with the presiding officer, the understanding was that they just wanted those shots cleared from the phone permanently so that they would just leave him to go.
Christian Yale, I thank you very much indeed for your time. We're grateful. Thank you very much. And this is, for me, quite dicey and interesting.
Absolutely.
A security officer who knows the law, who is supposed to be an enforcer of the law, breaks the law. His colleagues who are also within that same bracket assist him to break the law and to walk free. And the Electoral Commission doesn't read a red flag. And I'm sure that the civilians are learning
Absolutely.
from the very bad example that has been created thus far.
I've seen a few posts on social media of everyday civilians actually taking pictures. Whether or not that is from today, we're yet to see. But as you mentioned, if those who are supposed to enforce the law are found breaking it, what is the incentive for the rest of us to do the right thing? It's something that we're certainly thinking about and we'll be talking about in some more detail. Let's cross over to the phone lines now and speak with a few more reporters. Belinda Tete is in the Techiman area and we're speaking with her now. Belinda, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Where exactly are you speaking to us from?
So I'm speaking from Chiobodom, Techiman North constituency.
Right. And how has the special voting gone on today?
Okay, so the voting went on smoothly. The election is going on currently at the RCJHS school. And so far since morning, we've had a smooth elections. We've not had any chaos or any malfunction at the election center. And we also had the incumbent MP as well as the parliamentary candidate for the constituency, both monitoring the process of the election. They've been there since morning and they are still there as I'm speaking to you.
Now we know in other areas.
So far we had a good election.
Right.
There's not been any chaos so far.
Okay, so you say as far as you have observed, there haven't been any infractions, no issues notable of concern. But you say the incumbent as well as the parliamentary candidates have been in the area to monitor what's going on. Have you seen any special goodies, for example, being given out? We know that's been the case in other areas.
Please come again.
I'm asking about any special goodies that you have seen or you may have spotted either by the incumbent or the parliamentary candidates in that area, as we've seen in other parts of the country during the special voting.
Not at all. So after the time I went to cast my vote, they were sitting at the area where the Electoral Commission, the special agents, the polling agents and the other staff were sitting. And so there is no chance for them to do anything at all. Never did I spot anything from them. I didn't spot any sort of misconduct from them, like vote buying or trying to convince people through other means. I didn't spot any of that as of now.
Certainly, but what do you also make of the general atmosphere as far as the elections are concerned? Of course, this special voting is relegated to the likes of media personnel, for also security personnel and EC officials. But the rest of the constituents, do you see that this special voting has maybe inspired some excitement in the area?
Okay, so looking around, I think the passers-by, they seem to be kind of ignited and kind of optimistic towards the general elections on December 7th. So you see on their faces, they're passing by, and you see on their faces that they can't wait for the general elections to come for them to also cast their vote. So I think it's an optimistic feel as we step ahead for the general elections.
And Belinda, finally, before I let you go, let's talk numbers. What has the turnout been like, and what were the original numbers, or shall I say the number of special voters for the area?
So for this area, there are supposed to be 324 electorates for this area. But up at now, we have 300 voters, 300 electorates cast their vote as I'm speaking to you now. So we are hoping that by the time they will close, we'll have the rest of the 24 other candidates, the 24 other electorates coming to cast their vote as well.
Fantastic. Belinda, thank you so much for your work today. Thank you for connecting with us on Ghana Decides. I believe we can also speak with Noble Crosby Anani, speaking to us from the Krowo constituency. Crosby, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Helen.
How's it going?
Oh, pretty good so far. It's been a very smooth exercise in all the 4 constituencies I have visited at the moment. I am at the Krowo constituency where Nungua police station, that is where the social voting has been happening today, and with about 20 minutes to the close of polls, some scores of people have begun gathering here. Just about 100 of them, a little over 100 of them have begun gathering at the Nungua police station just to observe how the closure of the polls will be like. We know that the boxes will not be opened, neither will counting. So counting and collation will not happen today.
That's right.
But they want to be sure of everything. So they began gathering here in their numbers. The parliamentary candidate on the ticket of the NPP is here, as well as the member of parliament for the area is also here, also keenly observing the process. In fact, we spent the entire day here, the Nungua police station, where the voting has been happening since 7 a.m. Speaking with the electoral officials, the EC officials, they tell me that the process has been free. It has been very smooth. We expected some 1,006 people to come and cast their votes. And as I speak with you now, I can tell you that some 877 of them have come to vote. So we're only waiting for some 129 people come and vote between now and 5 o'clock. If that happens, well, we'll add up to complete the number to be 1,006. But turnout has been very, very impressive here. You know that if 1,006 should come and vote, and about 877 of them, close to 900 have come to vote. Turnout is impressive, according to the EC officials here.
Certainly, Crosby. Well, I'll wrap up with this final question, if you can answer it in about 30 seconds. Given what you have observed throughout the day in the Krowo constituency, what do you make of the potential come Saturday, 7th December, as far as the EC's readiness to conduct this election?
Well, speaking with the electoral officials here, they've not had any concern with the biometric verification devices. And so, you know that the Electoral Commission made provisions for 2 of them for every voting center. They tell me that it is only one they've used so far because they've not encountered any challenge that should let them look for the other one to support the work of what the first could not do. So the process of verification has been happening. No manual verification so far at any of the constituencies I have visited. No manual verification. The only has been facial verification, which also forms part of the biometric verification. And the process, I understand that you spend about 15 minutes, depending on the length of the queue you join.
Right.
But you can spend as less as 2 minutes if you come right now, because there are no people in the queues, and you just go through the process, you cast your vote, and then you vote. The only incident was one gentleman who was suspected of trying to take a picture of his ballot. He was quickly accosted when his phone was